What is up, Venture Student Ministries? I am back with another Wednesday teaching video. Just a couple thoughts for you guys. Also, you get me without glasses today, which is so weird. You get my nice no glasses tan lines. The light was reflecting too much of my glasses. It would be annoying for you. It was annoying for me. So here we are. You finally get to see me without glasses on, which is weird. I hate it. So yeah, I have, I guess, officially become like a YouTubing pastor. This is a weird part of my job now, but we're living it. So, last night, I'm sitting in my room, and my roommate comes in. He had been out shooting hoops at the basketball courts behind our apartment. And he comes in and he goes, "Dude, I got the cops called on me." I said, "You what?" He's like, "Yeah, someone called the cops on me." I go, "What happened?" He says, "Yeah, they said someone called them because someone was screaming, someone was yelling." And in this moment, I'm like, my first thought is like, "Bro, are you okay? Like, was somebody screaming out there? Like what happened, right?" And I think for a second, and I go, "Hey, man, were you screaming?" And he goes, "Yeah, I got a little excited. I was yelling a little bit." I was like, "Okay, so it wasn't that someone was just randomly out there screaming. You were out there yelling and got the cops called on you." He's like, Well, yeah, but I wasn't being that loud." I'm like, oh my gosh. But that got me thinking, right? A lot of times we will do things that we know can get us in trouble, that we know maybe we shouldn't be doing, and then when we actually get in trouble, right, when we have to deal with some sense of a consequence for that, we're like, "What? Why? I can't, what? Me?" Right, I took a test this morning, the final thing for this semester for my grad school program, and gonna be honest, hadn't read the book it was over a whole lot, or part of it, not all of it. Hadn't studied a ton for it, and I sat down before that test. I always pray before I take tests, and I just said, "God, I didn't study for this. I didn't really read the book." So I was like, "So I can't really ask you to like help me like to use the things that I learned." I was like, "Can you just like get me through this thing that I did not prepare myself for?" Right? And if I got in a bad grade, I actually did pretty well on it, thankfully. But if I got in a bad grade on that test, would have been no one's fault but my own, right? I could have read the book better, I could have studied better, I could have prepared myself better. But so often we tend to think in terms of, well, it's got to be everyone's fault but mine, right? It can't possibly be my fault that something went wrong. And as we are all stuck at home with our families right now, and like, trust me, I get it. I'm sure a lot of you guys are getting frustrated with your families. I'm sure a lot of you guys are butting heads with your siblings, butting heads with your parents, right? Like, you are just so much in close proximity with your families at all times right now. Right? I think this is week 3 of quarantine, with at least 4 more to go. Right? We'll have 7 weeks of this when we're done. But my encouragement to you guys in this season, my encouragement to you guys as we are figuring out this social distancing thing, as we are figuring out what it looks like to live well together, is this: show each other mercy, show each other compassion, the same way you would hope it was shown to you. Right? In Matthew 6:14, Jesus says during the Sermon on the Mount, he says, I'm gonna paraphrase it poorly here, but he had, well, I'm just gonna look it up real quick. I had it like remembered, it was in my head, and then I started filming this. So you get to look at me now for a second as I pull this up, because I don't want to misquote Jesus. If there's anybody in the world that I don't want to quote wrong, it's Jesus. He says, "For if you forgive others their trespasses or their sins where they wrong against you, so if you forgive someone when they wrong you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you." And I'm sure there are times your siblings or your parents are wronging you right now, or on the flip side, I'm sure there's times that you're wronging them. So I would just encourage you guys to show mercy, show compassion, and on the flip side, have humility when it's called out in you. Right? If someone in your life says, "Hey man, like, or you, gosh, you keep doing this thing, like, you've been eating all the Cheetos, or you've been leaving all these lights on, or, you've been too loud when I'm trying to sleep," or whatever that looks like, have humility. The same way that you would hope someone would if you came to them and said, "Hey, you've hurt me." On the flip side, I would encourage us to all have that same sense of humility when that gets called out in us. So that's just my encouragement to you guys today. show mercy to your siblings and your parents and your friends when they hurt you, especially in this season. And on the flip side, show humility when you've wronged them. So that is kind of my thought for the day. My arm's getting tired, so we're going to switch arms. That is my thought for the day. On another note, right, we are continuing to do a clothing drive. So to start collecting those, someone asked during the live stream, I think it was Katie Hobbs, said, what am I supposed to do with them? And just hold on to them for now. Free Store is closed right now. They aren't open for business, but I want to have all of those ready so we can get in there and show them clothes, show them love, and just support that ministry as soon as quarantine is done. Aside from that, we're doing, last night we did a all youth group Zoom session to play Jackbox games. We're going to do that on Tuesday nights going forward. Tuesday nights at 7. We'll probably do that a couple other times randomly. Life groups are still meeting over Zoom. Youth group live stream on Sunday night. And I'm just looking for other ways to make sure we're staying plugged in, staying connected. I love you guys. If you need anything, please let me know. I want to serve you. I want to be there for you. Even if it's just you need to talk a little bit, let me know. Let me or any of our other leaders be there for you in this weird, hard season. I love you guys. Show mercy. Show humility. Have a great week.